Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name is Norf, I am from London, and in this week's video I want to dedicate this to teachers and educators globally. I tip my hat to all of you, particularly the ones in the UK who have been forced to transition from in-person to online educating. In the UK, we are in our third lockdown and everything pretty much is closed. However, that doesn't mean that our educating and teaching has to be closed. As you know, I love a good acronym. So in this video, we're going to talk about the acronym C.L.O.S.E.D. So if you're ready, let's open C.L.O.S.E.D. All right, let's get straight into it. C.L.O.S.E.D. What does that mean? Well, let me open up C.L.O.S.E.D. for you. So the C in C.L.O.S.E.D. stands for creativity. Learning for me shouldn't be a box-ticking exercise. We should be able to be creative, to use the right-hand side of our brain to create something to share with those that will find valuable and useful. We're all teachers and educators in some way, shape or form, but some are privileged to be paid and recognised for it. As educators, we have an opportunity to inspire, to spark curiosity in others. There is so much great information and ideas all over the internet to inspire young and seasoned minds alike. Certainly for me, I'm inspired to be a content creator, instructor, teacher, and trainer. Pivoting from an in-classroom setup or an in-person setup to being online is a completely different skill set. And I take my hat off to all teachers and educators who are skilled at teaching in person to now have to pivot to deliver classes and lessons online. There are elements of both skill sets that you'll use, but teaching online is a completely different skill set and requires much more of you as a teacher or an educator. The old ways of learning may not get us to where we need to go, particularly in this online situation. So how do we pivot? How do we flip it round? How do we turn it on its head? The parameters have changed. Therefore, the learning experience for our students should also change. So as learning professionals, we have got a great opportunity to provide a positive virtual learning experience. You set the tone for the learning in your classroom, be it in person or be it online. Right now, it's online, and this, if you will, is my online classroom. I have the greatest level of respect for teachers and educators, particularly the ones in the UK who have been working throughout the pandemic and the lockdowns that we've had. Can you guess why I have the greatest level of respect for teachers? Can't think? It's because I'm married to one. Yeah, Mrs. Norf is a teacher. She's also from a line of teachers. Her immediate family are all teachers, and there are 6 of them. Creativity means that we have to adopt a growth mindset. What does that look like for you? The L and the O in C.L.O.S.E.D. stand for learning objective. What is it your students are going to learn from the session or sessions that you've put together? In my view, learning can and should be fun. Now, I get that there are elements whereby it's just dry, you've got to get through all of that, but there are ways that we can really bring energy and learning to life. We could consider concepts like the flipped classroom. Can we give all of the information or some of the information to our students, come back into an online environment where those topics and issues and elements are discussed? We're fostering discussion, we're highlighting different perspectives, and we're starting to introduce or level up passion into learning. As educators, how do we ignite that love for learning and curiosity? I think we've got a great opportunity as teachers and educators to drive that passion in our online teaching. And there's no time like the present to make that happen. The S in C.L.O.S.E.D. for me has to stand for the students. What is it they're going to walk away with? What's in it for them? It may well be a diploma or a certificate or some sort of degree right at the end of it. That's the end goal. But in terms of the classroom sessions, what's in it for them? What are they going to be taking away? And as teachers and educators, it's our responsibility to give that to those students. Will they leave different to how they came in? What concepts or challenges will you impart to them as an online teacher or educator? It could be thinking different, learning a new skill, or diving deeper into a piece of technology, be it hardware or software. Whatever it may be, ask yourself what's in it for them. For the E in closed, I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you energy and I'm going to give you engagement. What do I mean by those two? Your energy and your engagement when you're delivering an online lesson, as well as the students' energy and their engagement. In-person deliveries are vastly different to being online. Of course, when you're in person, you get to see the whites of the delegates or the students' eyes. You're able to read and get non-verbal cues, and that in turn will help you pivot and move your lesson on very, very quickly. When you're online, you have none of that. Assuming that the students have their cameras on, you have a little bit of that, but that is something that needs to be considered because that will either help or pull away from your energy levels. How do you enhance and exercise that online delivery muscle, if you will? How do you mentally prepare for delivering online? These are all things to consider when interacting with your students because those elements will have an impact on your energy, your engagement, as well as the students' energy and their engagement. What's one of the easiest ways to engage your students? Simply asking a question. Remember, what, where, why, when, and how. To get engagement from your students, simply ask an open question. You may want to ask a wide open question. So as an example, how do you feel about the sky being blue? As teachers and educators, I firmly believe that right now we have a great opportunity to facilitate different types of learning all online. Of course, I know that the medium can be a bit of a challenge, and sometimes we don't have enough resources to be able to really bring to life the types of online education that we want to do. My challenge to you is to exercise that online delivery skill set muscle. You may discover you might actually enjoy it. And finally, the D in closed stands for don't read from the slides. Please, please don't read off the slides. Dependent on how old they are, your students can do that themselves. You've probably considered this already. Maybe send out pre-reading to the students for them to take on part of their education and put the responsibility on them for briefing themselves and getting themselves ready for robust discussion when they turn up to your online classroom. It may well be that rather than you teaching them or you educating them, you just facilitate robust discussion with everyone that's in your online classroom. The students will all learn from each other, and you're simply just there orchestrating exactly what is going on. Perhaps there's another way that your content can be consumed by students and then discussed afterwards. By reading from the slides, your students will immediately become disengaged, de-energized, and will simply just shut down. Goodness, some of them may go off and do other things like watching the washing machine work. By simply reading from the slides, disengagement and de-energizing happens, the learning objective goes out the window and creativity has vanished. I cannot stress this highly enough. Please, please do not read from the slides. Instead, leverage an element of creativity on that learning objective. Focus in on what your students are going to walk away with. Bring some passion, energy, enthusiasm, and engagement to your online lessons. And this way, there will be a massive positive impact on the online lesson that you're delivering. And that's it for this week. As I say, I dedicate this particular video to teachers and educators globally, but specifically ones in the UK who have had to be agile and pivot very quickly from in-person delivery to now online. So remember the acronym C.L.O.S.E.D. Be creative with your online videos. Focus on the learning objective as well. Consider your students. What are they going to walk away with? Bring passion, energy, enthusiasm, and engagement to your online deliveries. And remember, don't read from the slides. As usual, I'm always open to reading your comments, so please do leave me some comments and I will get back to you. And that's it for me this week. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you spending the time to watch this content. If you like the content as well, please do give me a thumbs up and hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and remember to hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on when I upload brand new content to the channel. That is it for me. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.